Welcome to VICTORPATH. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is confusing intensity with intimacy. The challenge is that both can feel powerful, both can create attachment, both can change the way we think, feel, and behave, but they're not the same thing. Today, I want to explore the similarities between intimacy and intensity, the differences between them, and why confusing the two often leads people into unhealthy relationship dynamics. So, intimacy and intensity, of course, feel the same, but when you analyze, dissect it each, they're very different. First, we're going to start with the similarities. The first similarity, I would say, is that they both create an emotional investment. They both create an emotional investment. So intimacy, um, when intimacy grows, it makes you care more. Same thing with intensity. When intensity grows, it makes you care more. So both intimacy and intensity, when they occur, it makes you care more. It gets your interest. That's similarity number one. Number two, both intimacy and intensity increases vulnerability. They both increase vulnerability, both intimacy and intensity. They both require openness, both intimacy and intensity. They both require you to be open. They both require emotional exposure, and they both require trust to some degree. So both intimacy and intensity, they both require trust to some degree. You have to trust the other party for both intimacy and intensity. The third and last similarity is that both change your priorities. Both intimacy and intensity change your priorities. So you're going to be thinking about the other person more. Like it's both of them are going to make you think about the other person more. You're going to allocate more of your time to them, whether it's naturally or you have to force it. You have to, like, I'm officially, formally dedicating more time to this person. Sometimes it just happens naturally. You're going to give them more of your energy, more of your attention. Both intimacy and intensity will likely reorganize your life. It will reorganize your life, change your priorities. So those are the similarities. So the similarities. Now let's explore the differences. Let's explore the differences. And I have four differences in total. So I had three similarities. Just to rehash the similarities, both create emotional investment, both increase vulnerability. That's number two. And number three, both change your priorities. Those are the similarities. Now, the first difference, and this is probably even more to explore the differences than the similarities, because this is where people get confused. This is where people make bad decisions in relationships. The first difference is intensity burns fast. Intimacy burns slow. Or I should probably remove burn. Intimacy is fast. Intensity is slow. Sorry, intensity is fast. Intimacy is slow. So intensity is fast. Intimacy is slow. Meaning, intensity, it often develops through attraction, through novelty, through uncertainty, through emotional highs, through not having control over your desire. Intimacy, which is slow, develops through consistency, trust, observation, time. So it's different paths. It's different paths. And intensity is generally based off what you feel. Intimacy is based off of logical pattern recognitions and compatibility beyond surface level of what we feel. And so intimacy, if you want to think about it in a different plain text, intimacy could happen in a night. You could meet a girl, you could meet a dude and sleep with them that day, that night, if the intensity is there. But intimacy, true intimacy takes months, years to build that true connection because it's pattern recognition. It's being honest with yourself, like not trying to force this person to be compatible with you based on who you are as a person and who they are currently. And you could add some projection into the recipe, but based on I am and where I'm going and who they are and where they're going, is it aligned? Is it aligned? Is it worth being more intimate? Number two, intensity consumes attention. Intimacy builds understanding. Intensity consumes attention. Intimacy builds understanding. Intensity asks, how do I feel? And that's what's going on in society today. If you look at it, most people when they date is about me, 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 me. How do I feel? Me, 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 me. It's both men and women. Me. How do I feel? Intimacy asks, who is this person? So you're trying to get an understanding. You're not trying to fill the empty void of how you feel in this moment. You're trying to build understanding, which takes time and determine the compatibility between you. So just because you feel something in the moment, intensity, doesn't mean that you're going to make it last. If you're getting an understanding of that person and you're honest with yourself that it's not compatible. And it's kind of unfortunate. It's kind of like, the gift and curse of modern dating, if you ask me, because in the earlier years of American history, it was more arranged. So it kind of like took away that if we were compatible, the parents or guardians or, you know, proper entities, matchmakers determine the compatibility. But now we're doing it ourselves in this modern day. And it's initially based on intensity. So it's based off what we feel initially. And and then of course inevitability, since we don't think so much about the uh intimacy, the real connection, the fire burns. The fire burns and it burns too hot to even think about intimacy. So intensity is about how do I feel? How do I feel at the moment, generally speaking? Intimacy is Who is this person? So one is emotional, one is relational. Intimacy focuses on the experience. Intensity, intensity focuses on the experience. Intensity focuses on the experience. Intimacy focuses on understanding what you're getting into. And you have to be honest with yourself, most importantly. I don't suggest lying to your partners, but lying to partners is way safer than lying to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You should avoid lying to other people. But if you're going to pick one to lie to, by far, hands down, 10 out of 10 times, lie to them instead of lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Understand what's going on. It's not about how you feel. It's about how it's going to work out, the compatibility. Difference number three, intensity thrives on uncertainty. Intimacy thrives on safety. This is one of the biggest flaws in modern dating as well, too. A lot of modern dating is initiated by uncertainty. This is intensity. But true intimacy, the connection, what is the slow, what lasts long, it thrives on safety. Intensity often grows because you don't know what's next. Emotions fluctuate. Outcomes feel uncertain. That's what makes it exciting. But it's a fast, a flame. It's hot. It's entertaining, but it's flat. It's fast. It's uncertain. You don't know what could happen to that flame. Intimacy grows because expectations become clearer. Trust increases. Safety develops. Uh, Modern dating is very ambiguous. It's ambiguous. A lot of times you don't know what's going on. And it's by design to an extent because that's the culture we live in. And intensity, what makes us feel good at the moment. And the ugly truth is uncertainty makes us feel good at the moment. Fluctuating emotion, you're not knowing what's next. That's what makes a lot of us feel good and feel engaged in the moment. Even when you look at entertainment, a lot of the movies and the television shows, same formula. Intensity feeds on unpredictability. Intimacy feeds on reliability. And a lot of modern dating is initiated by unpredictability. That's how it starts, unpredictability. But intimacy, true, genuine connection, for it to last, it feeds on reliability, which most people you can't, they're not reliable. If you really think about it, most people can't rely on themselves. Most people can't rely on themselves. So how are you gonna expect to rely on them in a relationship? And that's what a lot of relationships are. Because the people that could rely on themselves, they second guess, like, okay, maybe I don't need a relationship like that. Both men and women to a certain degree. And the people that can't and need other people to depend on, they're more often to be in relationships. But then they can't even depend on themselves realistically. So it's like sometimes it's like a gap. Like I can't depend on myself, and certain times they can't depend on me. I can't depend on her. Blah blah blah. It's a mess. There's low. weak reliability, weak communication in modern dating, which feeds reliability. Intimacy feeds reliability. Intensity feeds unpredictability. Last, last, for the fourth and final difference, intensity peaks, intimacy deepens. Intensity peaks, intimacy deepens. Think of like a tree. Think of like a tree. A tree, it grows, grows leaves, grows branches, it grows leaves, and whatever kind of tree it is, it grows yield, it grows this, it grows that, and that's what it peaks. That's what we see, the intensity. That's what we see, the audience, the people, everybody, the intensity, the tree. The tree represents intensity, but intimacy is what's underneath, what people don't really see. The roots. And the stronger, the higher the tree, the deeper the roots, the deeper the intimacy. The problem a lot of people make is that they pay too much attention to what people see and not enough attention to what people don't see. Intensity usually follows a curve: rise, climax, decline, rise, climax, decline. Same thing, and I'm a writer as well, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Same thing with a plot. Is a rise, a climax, the top point of the story, and the decline, the climbing down the mountain. Intimacy works differently. It's boring sometimes, a lot of times, most of the times, but it can deepen for years. It can deepen for years. Intimacy burns hot. Intensity burns hot. Intimacy grows roots. Intimacy grows roots. And this is one of the concepts that I talk about in my current novel right now, In Love with the Chimera. And this is a series I'm working on, a 3 book series and plus a short story. So it's the Chimera series. It's In Love with the Chimera. This is the first book. Second book is a short story, Fairy Tale of a Love Monster. And then after Fairy Tale of a Love Monster, which I'm working on now, In Love with the Dragon, which should be released soon. In Love with the Dragon, I'm working on it now. And In Love with the Serpent, which I think I'll be able to release by the end of this year. And In Love with the Chimera, it's a series about the power dynamics in relationship. As you see on the cover, it says, "In the game of power and obsession, love is the deadliest pawn." So it appears to be a romance novel, but it's really a novel about power, greatly about power, series about power. And it's parallel to many different things, honestly, in life. Many, you know, the 48 Laws of Power, kind of like focuses on, uh, everyday power using historical context. The Prince focuses on like some more politics. Um, this I wanted to like bring to relationships, romantic relationships, and In Love with the Chimera. It starts with the illusion. So it starts with like, exploring how we get drawn into the illusion In Love, A Fairy Tale of a Love Monster is the bridge from In Love with the Dragon, In Love with the Chimera to In Love with the Dragon. So Fairy Tale of a Love Monster is a short story. It's available for free. You could check my Instagram for the link. I'll leave that in the description. Um, In Love with the Dragon is about the system behind the system and the structure behind relationships. In Love with the Dragon, and In Love with the Serpent is about the audience. Is about the audience, the impact the audience has on the structure in a relationship. So Chimera about the illusion, Fairy Tale of a Love Monster is the bridge from the illusion to the system, the dragon. In Love with the Dragon is the system and the structure. Then In Love with the Serpent is the audience. And you could take that dynamic and parallel it to anything, politics, religion, if you really think about it. So, yeah, this is the cover for In Love with the Chimera. It's available on my website, and it's going to be available on Amazon as well. Um, and it's pretty much one of the ideas that I explored while writing In Love with Chimera was how easily people mistake powerful emotions for meaningful connection. And sometimes what feels the deepest is simply what feels the strongest.